Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we are back with another live stream of Hearthstone. So, it is Wednesday, October 4th, and we are looking at the chat. Do we have anything new on the chat? No. Because of the way I'm streaming now, I don't actually need to get 5 victories with the Rogue Warrior. I can just wait 2 more days, and on Friday, that's when I really have to get this finished. All I needed to do was get the other 2 daily quests. So we can just switch over to the European account. So, terrible way to start a stream. I do have a lot of news that I need to get through. But once we finish the news, that's going to be the end of the stream. Streams are now going to be here.
Come tell us a story or two.
So we have to address this. We have a watch and learn. That's all we have to do. So Shadow 6 number 21233. You are on the European server. And you are not aware that you're playing on the European server. You sent me a friend request on the European server. You gave me trouble to send me this friend request. So, hopefully you've learned something today. We are now friends. If you want to show off your deck, that is fine. But I have a tavern brawl, so I need to finish that, and I need to do something here, so I need to watch and learn also. So if anybody else is on the European server and wants to friend me and wants to be watched, that would be fine too. Meanwhile, I have 5 victories with a major shaman, so I bet if we create a deck with the shaman and then we just tell it, you know what, you make a deck first because we're lazy, then hopefully this will work. Tavern brawls are really the only thing I kind of need to get done either today or tomorrow, and Tuesdays and Thursdays, Saturdays and Sundays really don't have any time now because I'm streaming more often, even if they're shorter streams. There's really no room for extra days of playing Hearthstone. It also probably means I'm not going to bother to get up to ranked. And I kind of hate to do this, so, but I'm going to have to, aren't I? There. I'm gonna have to concede and take a break and then come back. So I'm gonna concede here. I'm gonna leave the live stream with a "we'll be right back," and I'm gonna be back in like 20 minutes and I'll restart the episode. Yeah. Apologies for this. But let's see. So be right back. I need to make that actually a lot bigger. Well, I'll deal with that later. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. Apologies for having to take a break. Nobody said anything in the chat, so more than likely nobody's even watching. Let's restart the recording. That one was a bust. Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we are back to another live stream of Hearthstone. Today is Wednesday, October 4th. We are already in the European server because streaming is a little bit different now. Like, all I have right now is a watch and learn and 5 victories with the Major Shaman. I need to get at least one of these done, and I also need to get the Tavern Brawl done. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Trying to just get an easy victory on the Tavern Brawl. Meanwhile, I would be done with streaming if it wasn't for the fact that I haven't gotten through news. Someone brought up that there was a couple of other people going by the name Rydo on YouTube. I browsed actually further. There's actually quite a few people now that are showing up under my search. And it's not just 2, it's people with Rydo in their name or just going by Rydo. Is probably 10 or 12, but none of it matters. I can't possibly claim I have a copyright on such a simplistic name. There's almost certainly prior art there, and none of these YouTube channels have any videos on them. Like, it's ridiculously low. Maybe there's one channel out there that has the name right on it that has 100 videos on it compared to my 5,000. I am definitely the big man in campus there, and with other channels with Rydo in there, maybe there will be more searches, and that will just help my channel. It almost certainly won't hurt it. First news story: the PlayStation boss Andrew House is leaving Sony after 27 years, or Sony Interactive. I thought he was actually transitioning, but it seems like he's full on quitting. I thought he was transitioning to a different role, and then he was going to then the thought was that he was working his way towards what was I gonna say? He was working his way towards retirement. But either way, he's not gonna be playing a big role, and this spells potentially huge things for Sony PlayStation. Also, it's worth looking at that from the perspective of Sony Interactive in general, just having a lot of trouble and nearly going to bankruptcy. The poop emoji movie, let's not forget that, was their big last chance to succeed, and it didn't succeed. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see Sony get broken up and that the video game part becomes completely separate from the rest of Sony, although that isn't typically what happens in Japanese companies as often as it would happen probably in Western countries. Countries, what's the difference these days? But yeah, we could see something big. There could be never a PlayStation 5. There could be an amazingly good PlayStation 5. They could be doing they could get a better job of not filling the PlayStation Network with garbage, which is what they've been doing for about this past year. And maybe there's room for improvement. PlayStation, I would say PS4 still kind of has a slight advantage as far as user base over the Xbox One, but it's not fully using that advantage. And I think between PC gaming and Windows and Xbox One, Microsoft is regaining ground and seems like they're in a good position to to be the top console next generation, or even before the next generation. Also, Sony is always a little bit more interested in competing with Nintendo, and that they're kind of getting out of that mentality because they've said that they're not going to do anything as far as mobile gaming outside of Japan. So maybe that'll change and we will see a Vita 2 come out, or more of the Vita games that only come out in Japan to come out into other areas. Everything's kind of up in the air when somebody at the top moves. Okay, so watch and learn. Can we get a watch and learn? That would be nice.
I hope you like my invention.
So there's an interesting, I guess, retrospective story here where one of the Mega Drive Sonic games, Sonic 3D Blast, was programmed to cheat development checking, Sega's certification process. So what would happen is if any error happened whatsoever, it would take you to a screen that was called the secret level select, and it made it look like it was part of the game instead of reporting any errors or rebooting or locking up as an error usually would do. So people found that if you hit Sonic 3D Blast, physically hit the cartridge, you would get the secret level select, and people were wondering how could that possibly work, and it's simply as you were hitting the cartridge you were disconnecting and reconnecting certain pins on it and causing it to crash. So I would imagine that certification processes nowadays are better than that, and they would catch something like that. They probably demand that you specifically explain how you unlock this secret level mode, because they almost certainly saw it multiple times in testing, assuming real testing is done at all. Moving on to the next story, PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds Studio apologizes for server problems and says improvements are on the way. Meanwhile, they were getting review bombed by Chinese players because the servers were bad. And oh, I'm not playing, so I don't have to. I'm over here trying to play the other guys. And instead of kind of fixing the servers in China, they started putting in ads for VPN services. I don't know if maybe this was a hint that that it was the Great Firewall of China was causing trouble, and they wanted people to use VPNs to get around that, or what. But that seems kind of like a bad and sleazy way of not addressing the issue that's more important at the time. Also, the parent company of PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds has spun off that part of their business into its own company, or a sub department. So now there is this PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds studio just focusing on that game, where Bluehole, the parent company, is going to be separate. This is probably in the first steps of it going public and them trying to sell money. There's some potentially questionable and sleazy things that Bluehole and PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds is doing. It is the biggest thing right now, but it is also not super unique, and I don't know if there's going to be a Battlegrounds 2, or if this is going to out Overwatch Blizzard and stay around. I think Blizzard probably in Overwatch ripped off the Band-Aid fast by having loot boxes in the game originally, and I imagine that's what's going to happen for PUBGs. We'll see a lot of microtransactions, a lot of loot boxes, and we probably will see a significant number of players drop off when the next big thing happens. Let's see. What is this? Death End Quest details real objects glitch style and teases final Quest collaboration. Okay, the game is called Death End Quest, and I've not heard of it. It's a Japanese game. Let's watch the trailer. Looks like a RPG Maker style game. It's probably not RPG Maker. One of the things I had a problem with the last RPG Maker game I made is just how the screen is very zoomed out. So the 8-bit characters, you can't even get a good look at them. No, apparently there's like a glitch system, so it has a couple different art styles. But yeah, it does kind of look like it's a Final Fantasy 1, 2, or 3 type game. Top-down RPG. So that's interesting, I suppose. Slightly interesting, not really. Dime a dozen type games. Silly Knight is a company, apparently, that has... no, Silly Knight is the name of one of 6 new DOS games that came out. Like, why would you make new DOS games? Like, this is one of those PC Gamer articles that's not really worth reading because, like, there's no nostalgia for running a game in DOS. You can make a game that looks like a DOS game, but make it run on Windows 10, by all means. Like, don't waste people's time and make them go figure out how to get DOSBox to work. Let's see. This looks like a
Your magic shall not save you.
There's a party game coming to the Switch in Japan called Sumiko Garashi : Sumiko Park, and it looks like little hamsters or rice balls. The commercial here is for little kids, or 2 kids and parents, and they're waving the Joy-Cons up and down ferociously. It'd be interesting to see if they could translate this to the West. It's a bunch of little rounded hamster-like creatures playing something along the lines of Mario Party. I bet they simply change all the icons and make this Mario Party. So this Japanese game I'm looking at is probably going to be Mario Party at some point in the future. It's coming out December 7th if you are in Japan for 5,800 yen. If you have young kids, I'm sure they would like that. There's a new Layton game planned for summer 2018 along with an anime. I am still not playing. I'm still trying to watch and see somebody actually see him win. Professor Layton at some point switched generations, and so it's not the old Professor Layton. It's this girl, Lady Layton, which I think they got away with doing that with little controversy. And I would like to play the entire Layton series if it ever came to PC, and I got around to it, because the mystery games like that would be happy. be a fun, slightly different type of games. Let's see. Is there anything here to talk about? I'm on my Facebook page. So few people actually do anything on my Facebook page that I don't even look at it, but maybe once every 3 or 4 months. And I get 1 subscriber, 1 view. It is not a big deal. Excuse me. So, the Overwatch Halloween events, speaking of Overwatch, are coming back next weekend. Next week. October 10th for a specific day. I don't know if there's going to be anything new here. They're speculating it will have new skins, sprays, emotes, and victory poses, and highlight intros, as well as pumpkin shaped loot boxes. So everybody into Overwatch will have to play the game in Halloween mode for an entire month, unless there's an option to turn that off. I think you would probably want to turn things off like that. One of the games I recently played had a Halloween DLC that actually skinned things in such a way that it made it more difficult to play the game. And fortunately you could turn it off and on. Also, you could turn it off and on when it's not in October, which is certainly nice. Ideally, I'd like to see Overwatch and other games do that. Apparently, Netflix has made a official Stranger Things video game, and they've teased it. I don't think it's out right now. Oh, it is out. It's on the App Store and Google Play. It's free and there's no in-app purchases. So it is just, I suppose, an advertisement for it. Let's see this video of what it looks like. There was a Stranger Things point and click game, and that's not what this is. This is actually a highly full of action, top-down kind of arcade game, RPG-ish, but without any turn-based fight mechanics or anything. And apparently waffles are collectible. Collect all the Eggos and Gnomes, complete the full VHS libraries, check off the achievements. So this is just advertising, but as an advertisement piece, it is a game to play. I would have preferred if they had just hired the people that made the point-and-click adventure game
Your magic shall not save you.
Better. Did I turn the Be Right Back off? I think I did. Let me double check. Yeah, it is off. I imagine the people that made the point-and-click adventure game didn't go any further, or they got a cease and desist. Let me refresh my chat. I haven't seen anybody chat, so... Yep, nobody's chatted for almost 45 minutes now. Let's see. Moving on with news as we're trying to wrap up. That's not an article worth mentioning. Game Sutra puts a lot of articles that are really just for video game developers or developers talking about designs or doing game jams, things that don't really matter and are kind of just waste of time. Too inside Hollywood type. There's a sequel to a game, I think it was called Lost Phone. Well, no, the game was called A Normal Lost Phone, and they've made a sequel called Another Lost Phone, where you're finding a lost phone, and then you're trying to figure out who it belongs to, and weirdness and mystery and intrigue happens. So, if that sounds interesting, I think that's pretty much all you could say about that without probably spoiling things. There we go. And so, because I only have to get 2 daily quests done, Friday will be the day that we have to get the Mage and Shaman thing done for the European account. And 2 card packs to open. And we get a golden rare. And something here to disenchant. 1 common. And this is the account where my strategy, I'm trying 2 competing strategies. It's to disenchant golden things and then use the dust to make commons. So I have as much commons as possible, particularly classic commons. So let's go with common. I don't know if that works alone. Crafting mode, common, specifically classic cards. I was trying to get 1 of everything, that way I knew I had variety. So we do that. And on the Asian account, I'm doing the exact opposite. I'm keeping gold and seeing if that's the better move. That got me about 3. We can see there's still a lot, even in the classic set, to collect. And that's not even talking about other things. Alright. The only other thing was this guy. Where is he? Shadow 6. Last online 46 minutes ago. He wanted to friend me. He thought he was on the American account. And he must have just given up and stopped playing Hearthstone for today. So, moving over to the Asian account. Maybe on Friday, if he will show off his deck. The Asian account was giving me a little bit of trouble trying to run it. Let's see. Hand of Fate 2 is coming out November 7th. I covered Hand of Fate 1. I've enjoyed it quite a bit. I haven't really gone back and tried to do everything with it though. The Asian account also is not letting me trade out things, and I'm finding that really irritating. But whatever. We'll start here. I had a card pack that I got from something. I don't know, a watch and learn or something. Man, I'm on the basic card back here too. I think we could change that. Let's spice some things up here. Here we go. We'll make that our favorite. And then there's a new card. Even in this, I should probably just type new. That was a new card, and I'm keeping goldens in this account. And those are all new. So we need a Tavern Brawl with any victory. So I'm gonna go with Shaman. That makes the most sense. The one thing I would like to see Hand of Fate 2 address is a slightly more interesting and better system of fighting. And I'm watching the trailer now, and the fighting does seem like it is slightly improved. We kind of lost the dealer for a new dealer, or maybe it will be the same dealer and we find something out about the dealer. Looks like there's now also people you can hire that will help you or co-op, but the action fighting section, which was kind of an afterthought in Hand of Fate 1, does look like they're focused on fixing that and making that more of a game. Next story, a Hearthstone voice actor has leaked that there is a new Tunnel Rodent card that will presumably appear in the next expansion. We are working towards getting gold right now to have enough for the next expansion, whether it's just a card expansion and I buy 50 packs or what, or if it's a single player expansion, or if they're going to do something like Knights of the Frozen Throne where there was a large card expansion and a small single player expansion. That seemed like a lot. Horizon Zero Dawn is getting a complete collection this December, which makes me happy, and this is pretty obvious, but that means I won't. I'm glad I didn't buy Horizon Zero Dawn when it first came out. Now I can get the complete collection, assuming it is on PC at all, which it might not be. Let's see. It will come out for the PlayStation 4 on December 6th. So, did that game never come to PC? The complete collection will include all the bonus content. The Frozen Wilds is also scheduled to come out November 7th. So, so you're going to get the complete collection and oddly still have to wait for another piece of DLC, but you'll get that DLC included when it is available. That is an odd way to release a complete collection. And here's the thing. I need to just like search this and see if I can get it on Steam. Let's see. Platforms. PlayStation 4 only. That sucks. I did not realize that that was an exclusive. And exclusives are so rare these days that it's easily overlooked when there is one. Let's see. Good Old Games has a bunch of old Disney games on sale, according to PC Gamer. Maybe, maybe not. Almost out of news. Let's see. People are mowing the grass behind me. You probably can hear that. And a lot of these pages now that I'm looking at are repetitions of things I've already talked about, and that tends to happen as I launch tabs to review. And this is stuff I would have edited out back when I was using the whiteboard, but it's spending that extra time to use a whiteboard and filter down and edit the news doesn't pay off. I have had to get better at using my time. For better or worse now, according to this article, Assassin's Creed Origins is an RPG. I thought that was pretty obvious even in E3. When they said you have different levels of weapons, it was clear it was an RPG now. Now, I am a little confused, I will admit, as far as what is really going on there. I did that wrong. Because if this is just a game like Conan Exiles, I'm not sure Conan Exiles really succeeded, and it feels like that might be what they're ripping off, is something like that. Like, Conan Exiles is still in early access, people aren't really talking about it. I wouldn't really want base building in Assassin's Creed. I don't want grind in Assassin's Creed, so I think when I get around to playing Origins, whenever that happens, I'm gonna actually be rather unhappy with it. Let's see.
We must cleanse the Sunwell.
Yeah, I guess there's nothing really else to even say about that. Assassin's Creed Origins is going to feel very different. According to the game's lead world builder, Fallout New Vegas was probably compromised by console support. Fair enough, honestly. Job's done. Sure, but on the other hand, Fallout New Vegas is still probably better and more highly regarded than Fallout 4, and it's probably still the best Fallout game. Here's a game that looks very interesting. It's called the Morphine. So, like, ANA Morphine.
We must cleanse the Sunwell.
Not playing right at all. It's coming to PS4 and PC with VR support this winter. Does it have an exact day? It's from an independent developer called Artifact. It's an introspective virtual reality compatible adventure with environmental storytelling, so it's a walking simulator. But it does look pretty. So I guess the question will be, can I play this without VR? Will it still play well enough without VR? And they are desperately not playing it, putting down a fourth character for a real specific reason. Let's see. There's a Contra-ish game called Blazing Chrome. And let's see, where is this? It looks a lot like Contra. When is it coming out? It's coming out sometime in 2018, so I suppose keep an eye out for Blazing Chrome. And beat down, deal 100 damage. Is the only progress I even made there. And we've already talked about Andrew House stepping down. Hawken is being closed and removed from Steam in January. Hawken, at least right now, is a free-to-play game, so it seems like you were controlling a walking robot.
Brawl versus Gul'dan. Your soul shall be mine for Doomhammer.
There was a PlayStation 4 and Xbox One version of Hawken that were released July 2016, and they're sticking around for now, I suppose. It's just the Steam version is coming down.
I greet you.
Apparently, the original publisher was Meteor Entertainment that went out of business in 2014. So the original publisher went out of business in 2014. They put out console versions of it in 2016 by a different company, and now this different company has decided that it's time to shut it down. And I'd say probably fair enough. Like, I don't recall anybody talking about how they were playing Hawken And I imagine we'll eventually start seeing a lot of this on free-to-play games where people just start to realize that they can't make money and that they should just go out of business rather quickly. And it'll probably be this endless cycle of new free-to-play games pop up every month. They try and then they fail, and then some new free-to-play game replaces it. Stardew Valley, which recently came to the Switch, has another competitor in a game called Verdant Skies. That is an odd way that I phrase that sentence, where you play as a space scientist, effectively doing everything that you were doing in Stardew Valley Harvest Moon. At least that's what it seems like. So the fact that you're a space scientist, I think, lets you genetically engineer seeds and grow better seeds, so that puts a slightly different spin on it. But I didn't like Stardew Valley myself, so that's gonna be that's all I really have enough energy for. Is I tried the big one, Stardew Valley, and that I didn't like that one. I'm not gonna like something that's like something I don't like. The developer who had all of his quote-unquote fake games purged from Valve has called it quits. I think we already talked about it. Maybe he'll pop up under a different name and a different company, but he's claimed he's going. He's leaving the video game industry.
Was a mistake.
And we are at the humble. We are at the humble store, which is always the tab that tells me I am out of news. There is one bit of news. Nintendo confirmed that in Yoshi's Island, when Mario is riding Yoshi, he's actually punches Yoshi in the head to make him spit out things that he's eaten. And it seems like that is the obvious thing to have taken away from the animation, the 3 frames or so of animation there. But it also kind of looked like Mario was putting his fist forward and going, "Yeah, go forward, spit it out." And that Yoshi was just in the same frame, ducking his head down and spitting it out. But Nintendo has officially confirmed that you were abusing Yoshi as a dinosaur the whole time. Take that for whatever you will, whether you like Yoshi or not. And, I mean, it's really just silliness and cartoon silliness. In other pointless news, Tom and Jerry, Tom the cat actually was going to eat Jerry if he ever caught him. And it would have been brutal and bloody if he did catch him. So the Humble Store has the Stardock bundle, and Galactic Civilization is part of its second tier, Galactic Civilization 3. I got Galactic Civilization 1 for free and covered it, and it did look like if you wanted to play Galactic Civilization 3, it might be a decent game. That being said, all of these other games from Stardock are very focused around strategy space games that I don't particularly favor. So the top tier has Off-World Trading Company and Ashes of the Singularity Escalation. Let's see, are there any of these other ones that are available for sale? The only thing that isn't star related is, well, maybe some of these are more fantasy things, but they all kind of feel like the same kind of games. There's a Political Machine 2016, which isn't worth probably much these days. Maybe I should play some political games next election in the United States and see if that controversy gets me any views. And then inevitably those views will be demonetized because it's a controversial topic. There's a corporate machine game at the lowest tier, Falling Enchantress, Sorcerer King Rivals. Not one for me. I don't even think I'd want to pay $1. As we're getting into the holiday season, I've got other plans to do with my budget and my money that are not video game related, so another humble bundle that I skip. I skip a lot of them, certainly. I'm playing Dirt Showdown still. I'm almost done. However, having thrown out my shoulder somehow, leaning forward and playing with a controller, I think I might have to take a break and see if I can rest it. And so I may very well not record anything more today, which is kind of a problem, and I may very well not record anything tomorrow either, and just take 2 days off. Right now I'm scrolling on Twitter just to see if there's anything. I made a mistake in Downfall. We're starting the October's here, so we're doing Halloween month on my channel. I'm streaming Downfall. I knew I was gonna make a mistake like this, but I put in the announcements Downwell instead, and the creator of Downfall actually follows me, and and he corrected me, and I apologized for that and fixed it. But that certainly is a mistake that I shouldn't have made. I should have. Part of the problem is I usually do schedule videos when I'm about to fall asleep. It seems like that's become my new way of doing things, and that's opening a lot of opportunity to make mistakes. But it's certainly unprofessional and wrong to make such a mistake, and if I had an editor, they wouldn't be worth their salt if they didn't catch something like that.
My shield for Argus.
And I think we are done with the news. And so how long have we been going? Honestly, I don't even care about length anymore. The chat hasn't had anybody chatting for a while. And for about 2 hours now. So I lost everybody when I had to take that break, and apologies for that, but that's pretty much what happens. You take a break and you either lose everybody or gain people. I guess it could have been one or the other, honestly. Sometimes just staying streaming works. And yeah, I've gone about 45 minutes anyway, so we're right on track to wrap up here. And the only thing I really need to do is get one of the 3 potential daily quests done on the Asian account, and I think I'm fine after that.
Into the breach.
I guess I could probably rant a little bit more on YouTube, but I don't see a real reason to. I would much more just have people ask people to check out my channel this month. Halloween month in particular is the big month, in my opinion, for video games, because that's when I play the that's when I played the scary games, which there are a lot of. Apparently the Humble store just made an RPG Maker bundle. Yeah, that's the last thing I would want to do. Yeah, let's purchase more RPG Maker games. Yeah, no way. No way in the world do I want to play RPG Maker games. And there is a $50 tier on that bundle. Let's... Alright. Do this. And this. This.
We must cleanse the Sunwell.
This. In return. And I've got a notification. Somebody just followed me. A lot of people that follow me though are just spam bots. And yeah, that is just a spam bot. Alright, I am good with the news. And so as soon as this game is over, we'll be done with the stream. Streaming like this is still weird. I know my views are gonna be low. I know I'm not really focusing at all on actually playing or getting anywhere. Let's see. Add actions to
What to do?
let's see. How do you take these and put them in a playlist?
Handle it.
Where is that button? There used to be a button, and now it's missing. Add to... there we go. Smack that. There.
Behold the might of Stormwind.
Well
So I will add all of these videos that into this playlist, and then we'll see if people want to go watch that playlist and get me 1,000 views on those videos so I can move those forward. So no real progress here. I'll do this the rest of it. That's it for the stream. It's been weird, certainly. Kind of a mess. I'm still trying to get a hang of this new system. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.